There is a diet so simple yet so powerful that it claims to melt away a full pound of fat every single day. Most people would roll their eyes at such a bold statement, but the science behind this approach might surprise you. This is not about miracle pills, strange teas, or starving yourself. It is about a specific way of eating that taps into how your body naturally burns fat, something that most people have never been told. Every day, millions struggle to lose weight. They count calories, skip meals, and push themselves through workouts that leave them exhausted. Yet, they barely see any change. But there is a reason behind this constant frustration. It is not just about eating less. It is about triggering your body's built-in fat-burning switch. In this video, we will uncover the diet that activates it fast, so your body starts using stored fat as energy instead of sugar. You are about to learn why some people can drop pounds almost effortlessly while others seem stuck, no matter what they try. We will explore the truth behind rapid fat loss, what actually happens in your body when fat begins to melt, and why the 1 pound per day claim, while extreme, has roots in real metabolic science. You will discover how your hormones, meal timing, and food choices can create a powerful chain reaction that accelerates fat burn without complicated meal plans or supplements. Stay with me till the end, because you will also find out the exact foods that trigger this process and the one daily mistake that quietly stops it cold. Most people do not even know they are doing it. We will also expose a few myths that even diet gurus often repeat. For example, eating small meals all day. It might actually slow down your metabolism instead of speeding it up. Skipping breakfast. That could either boost your fat burning or completely ruin it, depending on how you do it. By the end of this video, you will know whether this stupidly simple diet can truly help you lose weight fast, or if it is just another internet illusion. You will walk away with facts backed by research explained in plain language, no hype, no vague advice, just a clear look at what works, why it works, and how to make it work for you. And here is a little teaser before we start. There is a reason ancient cultures practiced a certain eating pattern long before the modern fitness industry even existed. It might just be the hidden secret behind this 1 pound a day effect that people are rediscovering now through science. So stay tuned, because the next few minutes could completely change how you think about food, fat, and weight loss forever. You will see how a method that looks almost too simple can outsmart years of failed diets and confusing advice. And by the end, you will have everything you need to start your own transformation safely and intelligently. Welcome to our channel, where we break down complex health and nutrition science into simple, practical steps you can use right away. If you are ready to learn the truth about this fat-melting diet and uncover how to take control of your body starting today, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive video. Everywhere you look, the promise is the same. Lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. It sounds reasonable, even healthy. But when you are standing on the scale day after day, watching the same number stare back at you, that advice starts to feel painfully slow. You start counting every calorie, measuring every bite, waiting for change that never seems to come fast enough. For most people, dieting becomes a cycle of effort and disappointment. You try one plan, stick with it for weeks, and maybe the first few days show a tiny drop, then everything stalls. Your clothes fit the same, your energy drops, and your motivation fades. You start to question if your body is broken, if your metabolism just does not work like everyone else's. The truth is, most traditional diets are designed to work gradually. They rely on slow calorie deficits that require months to show visible change. But we live in a world that moves fast. People want to see progress, not promises. You want to feel lighter this week, not months from now. You want proof that your hard work is paying off, not a long lecture about patience. And it is not just vanity. There is something deeply emotional about wanting to see results. Each day you try, you fight cravings, social pressure, and exhaustion. Every healthy meal feels like a victory, every missed craving like a battle won. But when the mirror shows no difference, the mind starts to rebel. You crave quick proof, a sign that your effort is worth it. That is why people are drawn to methods that promise faster, fat loss, not because they are lazy or impatient, but because slow progress often kills consistency. Think about it. We live in a time where almost everything delivers instant results. You click and it arrives, you post and it gets likes. But when it comes to weight loss, time seems to slow down. That delay between effort and visible change can make even the strongest person give up. The problem is not lack of discipline, it is frustration. It is doing everything right, yet seeing almost nothing happen. Many people increase workouts, cut more calories, or even skip meals entirely, hoping to speed up the process. Yet the body often fights back, holding on to fat even tighter as a survival response. So instead of losing fat, you end up tired, irritable, and stuck. It feels unfair. You follow all the rules, but the results move at a crawl. That is the pain millions feel when they try to lose weight the traditional way. It is not just slow. It feels endless. And that is exactly why the idea of a diet that melts fat fast sounds so tempting. It promises to finally break that frustrating pattern. Fast results, visible progress, and a reason to keep going. The claim is bold, losing 1 full pound of fat every single day. To most people, it sounds almost impossible, but it comes from a simple piece of math that has been repeated for decades. 1 pound of body fat stores roughly 3,500 calories of energy. That means to lose that much in a single day, you would need to create a deficit of 3,500 calories between what you eat and what you burn. On paper, it looks extreme, yet that number has become the foundation of countless rapid weight loss strategies. But here is where things get interesting. The body is not just a calculator, it is a complex system that adapts, protects, and adjusts to keep you alive. You cannot simply starve off fat in perfect numbers. Still, under certain conditions, the body can burn stored fat at a much faster rate than usual. And that is where this stupidly simple diet idea comes in. It relies on a very clear, almost effortless tweak in how and when you eat, rather than obsessing over counting calories. The concept is based on forcing your body to switch its primary fuel source from glucose to fat. When you stop giving it constant carbs or snacks throughout the day, insulin levels drop and your body starts dipping into stored fat for energy. That shift, known as metabolic switching, can create massive calorie burn without you consciously restricting every bite. It feels like the fat is melting off, even though what is really happening is your metabolism is working the way it was meant to. The simplicity is the appeal. There is usually just one main rule: limit your eating window or structure your meals so your body gets a long break from digestion. Some people use fasting style eating, others stick to high protein, low carb meals that keep hunger away and fat burning active. It is not about exotic ingredients or supplements. It is about giving your body enough time and space to access stored fat instead of just burning the food you recently ate. When people first hear that, they think it must be complicated, but it is actually the opposite. Instead of eating every few hours, you eat fewer times, but with purpose. You focus on clean, whole foods that fill you up and keep insulin low. You do not have to weigh your food or live in the gym. The rule is so straightforward that it feels almost unfair, and because it feels easy to follow, people stick with it, which is where the real power comes from. The simplicity is not a trick. It is the design. The easier it feels, the more likely you are to keep doing it, and the more consistently your body keeps burning stored fat day after day. To lose a pound of fat a day, the body must burn or save an enormous amount of energy. That means creating a calorie deficit close to 3,500 calories in just 24 hours. This is far beyond what most normal diets or exercise routines can achieve. The body needs calories to keep your heart beating, lungs working, and brain alert. Cutting that much energy too quickly can strain the body, slow metabolism, and even trigger protective mechanisms that make future weight loss harder. That is why extreme calorie restriction rarely works for long. Still, some people manage to push their bodies into short bursts of intense fat burning through a precise mix of food timing, nutrition, and activity. The structure of this type of diet usually centers on eating fewer meals with longer breaks in between. That gap gives the body time to deplete stored sugar and shift to fat as a primary fuel source. A popular approach is the one meal a day pattern. In this setup, all daily calories are eaten in one sitting, usually packed with lean proteins, vegetables, and healthy fats. When done carefully, studies have shown that this kind of strict meal timing can reduce both body mass and fat percentage. It forces the body into deep fat burning mode for long stretches while still giving it nutrients in one dense meal. To support that large deficit, diet alone is often not enough. Physical activity plays a huge role in pushing energy expenditure higher. That could mean long walks, resistance training, or bursts of high-intensity exercise. These movements not only burn calories during the workout, but also raise metabolic rate for hours afterward. However, exercise alone cannot make up for a poor diet. You could run for hours and still undo your efforts with just one high-calorie meal. The combination of controlled eating and regular movement is what makes the fat loss engine work. But none of this matters without consistency and awareness. Losing fat at such a fast rate requires precision, tracking what you eat, how much you move, and how your body responds. Skipping meals randomly or overtraining can quickly lead to burnout. Even those who follow the plan closely need to be cautious, since rapid fat loss can affect hormones, hydration, and muscle mass. Medical guidance becomes important to avoid pushing the body too far. The goal is to keep the system in a fat-burning rhythm without tipping into exhaustion. The process demands patience, discipline, and constant adjustment. One small slip can throw off the balance and slow everything down. The key is maintaining control long enough for your body to stay in that rare accelerated burn state where fat becomes its main source of fuel. The idea of burning 1 pound of fat a day sounds powerful, but beneath that promise lies a reality most people overlook. Rapid fat loss is rarely safe or sustainable. The human body is not designed to drop large amounts of weight in such a short time without consequences. When the calorie gap becomes too wide, the body shifts from fat burning to self-protection. It starts conserving energy, lowering metabolism, and slowing down basic functions just to survive. This is why people who lose weight very fast often see their progress stop suddenly or even rebound later. When fat loss happens at an extreme rate, it is not always pure fat that disappears. The first few pounds usually come from water, glycogen, and even muscle tissue. Water leaves the body quickly when carbohydrate intake drops because stored glycogen holds onto fluid. This creates the illusion of dramatic weight loss, but it is temporary. As soon as normal eating resumes, the weight returns just as fast. Muscle loss is another hidden danger. When your body cannot get enough energy from food, it starts breaking down muscle for fuel. The more muscle you lose, the slower your metabolism becomes, which makes future fat loss even harder. Bone density can also be affected when the body is deprived of nutrients for too long. The loss of essential minerals weakens bone structure, increasing the risk of fatigue, injury, or long-term damage. Many people on extreme diets experience dizziness, poor focus, and constant tiredness because their body is running on fumes. Hormones start to fluctuate, sleep quality drops, cravings intensify. The same system that was supposed to make you leaner begins to fight against you. Most scientific studies agree that a safe and realistic rate of fat loss is about half a kilogram to 1 kilogram per week, roughly 1 to 2 pounds. That pace allows the body to adjust, preserve lean tissue, and maintain hormonal balance. Trying to exceed this natural rhythm is like forcing a machine to run faster than it was built to go. It may work briefly, but it eventually breaks down. Even short bursts of aggressive dieting should be approached carefully and with medical guidance. Extreme calorie restriction or long fasting windows can be dangerous for people with health conditions, low blood pressure, or metabolic disorders. It can also disrupt menstrual cycles in women and weaken immunity. That is why experts always recommend getting a professional opinion before attempting anything that pushes your body to this level of intensity. The potential for short-term success should never outweigh the long-term cost. The plan that promises such dramatic fat loss is surprisingly straightforward. It is not filled with complicated meal charts or expensive supplements. It revolves around a single clear structure that looks simple on paper but demands discipline in practice. The foundation is a strict eating window, often just one meal per day or a very small eating window of 4 hours or less. In this setup, most of the day is spent in a fasted state, allowing the body to run out of quick energy sources and turn to stored fat for fuel. Studies on one meal a day patterns have shown that it can significantly reduce body weight and fat mass when followed under supervision. The simplicity is what makes it effective, but it also means the margin for error is small. That single meal becomes the heart of the plan. It must be rich in nutrients, balanced, and satisfying enough to fuel the body for the entire day. High-protein foods take priority because they help preserve muscle mass while promoting a feeling of fullness. Lean meats, eggs, fish, tofu, and legumes form the base. Processed carbs like sugar, white bread, and snacks are kept to a minimum as they can spike insulin and stop the fat-burning process. Instead, the plate is filled with fiber-rich vegetables and healthy fats from sources like olive oil, nuts, or avocado. This combination helps keep blood sugar stable and hunger under control during the long fasting window. Physical activity plays a major role in keeping the fat-burning engine running. To achieve such rapid loss, the plan calls for at least 30 to 60 minutes of activity every day. It could be brisk walking, weight training, or short bursts of high-intensity workouts. The goal is to push the body to burn stored energy while preserving lean muscle. Exercise also improves insulin sensitivity, making it easier for your body to use fat efficiently. However, pushing too hard without proper fuel can lead to burnout, so the intensity must be built up gradually. Tracking becomes the silent guide of this process. Keeping a log of food intake, weight, and energy levels helps you stay accountable and aware of what works. It is not about obsessing over numbers, but about understanding patterns. When you see results, even small ones, it reinforces motivation to keep going. Alongside tracking, recovery is crucial. The body needs quality sleep to regulate hunger hormones and repair tissues. Stress management is equally important because constant stress can elevate cortisol and block fat loss entirely. This method may sound effortless when described in a few lines, but simple does not mean easy. It removes complexity, but demands consistency. The rules are minimal, yet they must be followed precisely. When done correctly, the plan feels clean, structured, and powerful. But when done carelessly, it can backfire quickly. This kind of intense fat loss plan is not built for everyone. It suits a very specific group of people. Those who are already in good health have stable energy levels and are used to disciplined routines. These are individuals who understand their bodies, can handle hunger without emotional eating, and are mentally prepared to follow a structured schedule without constant supervision. For them, the plan can feel like a challenge rather than a punishment. Their metabolism is usually steady, their sleep patterns are balanced, and their bodies are strong enough to cope with the physical and mental strain of tight fasting windows and intense activity. Athletes or highly active adults sometimes experiment with short, aggressive fat loss phases to reach specific goals like cutting for a competition or photo shoot. They already have the muscle foundation and knowledge to support their bodies through such changes. People in this group are often skilled at reading their body's signals. They know when to push harder and when to pull back. They understand that the stupidly simple plan is more like a controlled sprint, not a lifelong marathon. With medical clearance and the right mindset, it can deliver quick, measurable results. But for most people, especially those dealing with existing health concerns, this kind of regimen can do more harm than good. Pregnant or nursing women should never attempt extreme calorie restriction. Their bodies need constant nutrients to support hormonal balance and the growth and health of the baby. Teens are also at risk because their bodies and brains are still developing. Limiting calories at that stage can affect growth, focus, and long-term health. Older adults with medical issues face an even higher level of risk. Conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or thyroid disorders can make rapid fat loss diets unsafe. Sharp drops in calories and electrolytes can cause dizziness, weakness, or even dangerous fluctuations in blood pressure. Those who are on medication need stable food intake to avoid interactions or side effects. For them, the focus should always be gradual change, consistent, moderate improvements rather than dramatic shifts. People who struggle with food anxiety, disordered eating, or unstable routines are also not good candidates. The strictness of a one-meal-a-day structure or extreme fasting can easily lead to binge-restrict cycles that damage both metabolism and mindset. Even if the plan seems simple, it requires a level of mental steadiness that not everyone has in the beginning. In almost all cases, a slower pace works better. Losing weight steadily allows the body to adapt without panic and gives habits time to form naturally. The goal is not only to lose fat, but to do it in a way that keeps your body healthy and your mind strong enough to maintain it for life. When people hear about losing a pound of fat every single day, it immediately sparks excitement and curiosity. It sounds like the perfect shortcut, the kind of result everyone dreams about. But the reality is that even with strict discipline and near perfect execution, not everyone will see that exact number. Fat loss depends on many personal factors: your starting weight, metabolism, activity level, muscle mass, hormones, and even how well you sleep. Two people can eat the same food, follow the same plan, and still lose weight at completely different speeds. That difference does not mean the plan failed. It just means the body is responding in its own unique way. Someone who is heavier at the start might see faster drops at first because their body burns more energy simply by moving and maintaining itself. A smaller person with less fat to lose may see slower progress, even when doing everything right. Muscle mass also plays a huge role. Muscles burn calories around the clock, so those with higher lean mass can lose fat more quickly while maintaining strength. On the other hand, people with lower muscle mass might see slower changes on the scale, even if their body composition is improving underneath. Hormones are another silent factor that can make or break results. Cortisol from stress, thyroid function, and even reproductive hormones all influence how the body stores and releases fat. High stress or poor sleep can make the body resist fat loss no matter how clean the diet is. This is why some people do everything correctly and still do not see the same rapid changes. Others talk about online. It is not a failure of willpower. It is biology. So while the idea of dropping a full pound per day makes for an exciting goal, even half of that amount can be a major achievement. Losing half a pound of pure fat daily, even for a few days, is still a massive shift in metabolism. It means the body has entered a strong fat burning mode and is using stored energy efficiently. For many people, steady progress of a few pounds a week is already a sign that the method is working. The best mindset to have is one focused on health, strength, and sustainability. A body that loses fat too fast can also lose balance, while a body that changes gradually builds resilience and stability. The goal should not be to punish your body into shrinking, but to train it to function better, to eat, move, and recover in a way that feels natural and lasting. Rapid transformation may look appealing, but real progress is measured not just by what you lose, but by how strong, energetic, and confident you feel while achieving it. If you are curious about how your body might respond, try this plan for just 1 week. Keep it simple, track your meals, notice how your energy feels, and write down your results. You might be surprised by how quickly your body starts to adapt once you give it structure and consistency. But remember, the goal is not to push your body to the edge. It is to understand it better. Adjust the plan when needed, rest when you must, and always listen to the signals your body sends you. That is where real, lasting progress begins. If you found this video helpful or learned something new about how fat loss really works, make sure to give it a like. It helps more people discover these science-backed insights. Subscribe to our channel if you want more simple, fact-based explanations about diet, metabolism, and health that actually make sense. We break down the noise so you can make smarter choices without confusion or hype. And before you go, drop a comment below and tell us what is the biggest diet myth you want busted next. Your suggestion might be the focus of our next deep dive video. Thank you for watching, and remember, sustainable fat loss is not about perfection, it is about direction. Small steps, done right, always lead to bigger changes ahead. Stay consistent, stay curious, and we will see you in the next video.